All online. Now let's test them. Okay. One, two, three. Okay. Okay, I'll be live in a few minutes. I'm just getting set up here, making sure we're streaming to all the platforms correctly, unlike yesterday. Let's see. Now it says off. Wait a minute. Offline. Hold on. Oh God. Timing shouldn't. I shouldn't open that yet. All right, still says we're online on all the social media, so waiting on her track to open up here, and then we'll get started. Henri is moving on shore as a tropical storm. You know, if those of you that watched last night, showing the models, the best performers, showing it's still coming in as a category 1. Well, it's down to 70, and if you look at that radar image there, you can see it's weakening even further. It might come in at 65 when the center comes on shore in a few hours. But okay, here we go. Here's the latest data. Why does it keep saying offline? What is going on here? One, two, three, four, five. All right. All right, let's just roll with this. I'm not going to get aggravated this morning. I'm pretty sure we're at all of the social media locations right now, and on my personal Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Hurricane City Facebook, it is all streaming and live. So it may be intermittent. I'm not sure how the screen sharing on this other computer is conflicting with all this, and that might be the problem. So anyway, this will be archived. I'll edit it down. We'll show you aftermath, archive down less than an hour long of everything that happened as Henri makes its way on shore. It's no longer a hurricane. So here's the Hurricane Track program. This is basically the current position of it right now, but it's not a hurricane anymore. This was based on the 5 a.m. advisory. And if we put this into motion, you say it stays east of Long Island, and then it moves into um, Rhode Island, western Rhode Island, just to the west of Providence as a tropical storm. And this would be around 3 p.m. this afternoon when it's right near Providence, the center of the storm. The conditions are already there. We're going to get to all the data and information as it's happening, but it is going down right now. It's happening. The core is moving on shore, and I'll be with you throughout the afternoon here, giving you live cameras, radars, observations, news, whatever, Twitter feed, social media comments. By the way, speaking of comments, y'all can comment on social media in any of the platforms, and I'll put your comments on air. If you have any information to pass along, that would be great. Anything you're hearing about what's happening at ground level. And I've just talked to Tony Bright via Twitter. He's on eastern tip of Long Island, near where I guess Mark Sudduth is from HurricaneTrack.com, and they're just not reporting much there because the radar is just, it's the core of it's going to the east of there. So anyway, let's look at the swath expected here, and again, this was based on the 5 a.m. Last night. It was a little bit further to the west, over eastern Long Island. Now it's all the focus is going to be on Rhode Island today, as the core, the right side, all that water funnels in um, up into the Providence area. And again, this will be nothing like the 1938 situation. A few feet of storm surge. I'll get to the graphics on that in a minute. Let's take a look at the rain. That's probably going to be the biggest deal here. So, and here's our rainfall expected totals. Again, on Long Island, we're expecting 4 to 6 inches. Western Connecticut, upwards of 6 inches. And this is it teeters on the border of coverage because I cover generally hurricanes when they're making landfall. This is opened up into a tropical storm, so the effects are not going to be as great as they would be with a category 1 or 2 coming in there. But we're going to watch for the storm surge. I'm going to show you cams coming up here in a minute. So let's put that radar back up. Let me look at the impact report for the Northeastern USA first. And for example, Providence here, we're talking 2 p.m. is when the worst conditions arrive in Providence. And by the way, it's going to be low tide. The water levels, as this is coming in the middle of the day, low tide. And winds around gusting to 65, 70 miles per hour in some of those stronger bands, the red and the oranges on the radar. And then as the afternoon moves on, around 5 p.m., 6, 7 o'clock, things start to wind down gradually. But it's going to be a gradual thing because if you look at the bars on that graphic, it's a very gradual tapering off. So this is going to be a long duration event. Here we are, Southampton. This is eastern Long Island. Again, right now we're at like medium tide. The tide is going out right now. That's what that blue line represents. The tide is going out. And the winds are picking up at the same time. So as the winds get up around 60 miles per hour, Southampton, the tide is going out. So there's not going to be a big surge problem for Southampton. It's going to be offshore winds anyways. Winds out of the north going towards the south. And it's going to prolong up until around 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and then things will start to taper off after that. Um, our people up in Boston area. By the way, there's some heavy bands coming through there right now, but basically right now is they're getting impacted by the outer bands. Winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. That's going to happen throughout the day. Is even as late as 4 o'clock this afternoon. They're still going to be dealing with sustained tropical storm force winds in the Boston area, and right around gusting right around 40. I mean, sustain around 40 and gusting to around 50 miles per hour. And it'll be low tide as the afternoon wears on in Boston. So this is all good news for these areas. Again, low tide is while this, because the original thinking was this was going to be a little bit later in the day, and going into the evening hours. That was the forecast thinking at least 24, 36 hours ago. Now it's sped up a little bit. It's moving on shore faster. So here we are with the situation of system coming in at low tide. So that's really good news. All right, let's close out of the herd track. I don't even know if you were seeing that, if that was showing up on there, but anyway, let's real quickly take a look at the radar one more time. All right, so there's our current position of Tropical Storm Henri. And notice the reds and yellows over here. When they mention the sustained winds of this tropical system, which is 70 miles per hour, that's right there where the yellows and the reds and the oranges are. It's not these bands over here to the right. It's these core really heavy thunderstorms is based on that 70 miles per hour. And we'll see what they say at 11 a.m. coming up here if it's gotten any weaker. But we're talking a small band here going over Block Island right now, just east of Long Island. This is going to be heading up into Rhode Island, western Rhode Island here. And that's when things are going to really deteriorate. So we're going to look at the cams and the radar and the observations from these areas uh, as uh, as this moves in. So let me let's one more thing. Let me show you this because right now we're not seeing any major power outages going on. I'm not sure if no, you're not seeing that. Hold on. Come on. Okay, so here is the um, situation. Basically, let me refresh this just to make sure. Uh, yeah, I mean they're showing state outages in New York. Only 1,700 people without power right now, as of 9:17 a.m. Eastern time. So basically, good shape here. Very minimal power outages. Let's check out. And again, this is going to go start to the colors are going to start popping here when this core gets in here. So you see already it's starting to get some color here. We've got around 10-20% power outages, 5,270 outages in Rhode Island right now. And they're getting probably the bulk of the winds. They're going to get the bulk of the winds. Excuse me. So that's the situation on this computer. Let's stop sharing and let me get over to this source over here. So let me see if there's, and again, if anybody wants to comment on any of the social media, and again, I'm hoping that we are live. It says off, online. Okay. We're still streaming on all the platforms. So let's go ahead and do this. Let me screen share. All right, first, let's go to let's share the audio on this. Now this is Mark Sudeth's live cam. Let me get the sound going. Oh, he's got the music going. Never mind. All right, so this is Mark Sudeth's. What he does is he sets up these cameras all around wherever the hurricane is coming in, and he puts them on the beach areas, and then he usually retreats. Well, in a storm like this, there's not really going to be a need to do that, but these are all on eastern Long Island. And see, this was a tough call for a storm chaser because when you think about it, the difference between going to Long Island or going to Rhode Island is two completely different things. Now, Mark is coming from North Carolina, so he's, but well, let's see if I can go full screen on. I don't know if that's. No, never mind. So he's coming from North Carolina, and you got to figure, okay, the difference driving to the eastern tip of Long Island is a far shorter drive than it is going up through New York City and then getting up into Connecticut, driving through Connecticut and getting to Rhode Island. Huge difference. So I think Mark weighed the model data and said, okay, well, the center should come over eastern Long Island. We should be okay. And now it turns out that the core is passing east of him. So he's not going to get those real heavy bands there. And you can see it looks pretty, tumultuous out there on the water. And it's, I talked to, again, Tony Bright a little while ago on Montauk, on eastern Long Island. He said there's really nothing going on. Even if he was streaming live, there wouldn't be anything to show. So that's the latest from there. So let's go ahead and take a look at, by the way, here's West Hampton's weather. Let's update this and see. 19 gusting to 30. So let's close out of that. Okay, so this is the page that I set up. This is my GIS map of the areas that are going to be impacted today. And here's all the webcams and all the observations. So let's go through these. So first of all, were these guys over here near Suffolk, East Hampton? I think this camera's down. Let's see. Well, maybe it's no. It is live. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, this is East Hampton. Towards the eastern side of Long Island. Again, it's windy, but really nothing to see here. I mean, those winds are probably gusting 40, 50 miles per hour. Just check the feed one more time and see what's going on. Again, we're on a delay here, so what I'm hearing and what you're hearing are two different things. Just want to make sure the full screen captures are working. Okay, let's go to yeah, it's pretty much of a big delay right now. You know what? Is this wait a minute, am I capturing this? Hold on a minute. Oh, no. I got to change. That's what I got to redo the screen capture. Sorry about that. So, there we go. East Hampton. That's it. Okay. Oh, okay. It's making you refresh. So we'll hold on. Okay, so hopefully this is coming through on the live feed. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, so everything's working fine on the streaming end of this. So appreciate people. If you want to comment, please come in and on any of the social media. If you have a comment about what's happening here, we'll put it on air. We'll show your comments. But I noticed Josh Morgan, the chaser, he was down in Mexico for Hurricane Grace, came in as a major hurricane near Tuxpan, and everybody was wondering if he was going to try to get up to Rhode Island or the impact areas to cover this. And he's still down in Mexico, so he's not going to go cover this. So we're not going to get any updates from him on Hurricane Henri, Tropical Storm Henri. But again, this is about as close as you're going to get to the core of this thing where it's at right now. And again, if you look off to the right, I'm assuming that's probably where the tropical storm is, the darker clouds off to the right. But again, these are offshore winds. That's why it doesn't really look that rough, because the winds are blowing offshore, and you get some really beautiful swells when that happens. The surfers would be thrilled with these kind of conditions, offshore winds. So let's go ahead and get out of here, and let's take a look at, okay, let's see if we have, let's take a look at Narragansett. Okay, and make sure that we're streaming this. Yeah, there it is. Bonnet Shores Club. Okay, so let's go full screen on this. Or can we? No, I guess we can't. Water coming in, but again, this is low tide. The tide is going out. So this is up in Rhode Island. And the waves are starting to still smash up against the wall there. They're overtaking the beach, but and you can see people walking with their head down because that wind is probably nailing them like nails. Winds are probably 50, 60 miles an hour in this shot right here. All right, let's do another one. Um, let's try this one. Well, first of all, let's see what the weather conditions are in Newport right now. 21 gusting to 35 miles per hour, 36 miles per hour almost in Newport. Now, let me zoom in even more to get some of these camera shots, because they're on top of each other sometimes, so you really have to zoom in to be able to choose a camera. So let's take this one, sight sailing. Okay, this is again up in Newport, Rhode Island. I guess people can take sailing tours on this boat here, but it looks calm. I mean, the tide. Look at the tide. It's up, but it's low tide, or the tide is going out. So had the tide been coming in, it might have been a bit of a different situation. Maybe the water would be over the dock, or at least up to the top of the dock. So, but the boat's moving around a little bit. So there's definitely some wind out there. All right. Let's go to another camera. And this is the Easton Snack Bar in Newport. Okay, so this is a Nest Cam. And again, this is up in Newport, Rhode Island. I guess out on the ocean side, and the waves coming in, pretty much taking over the beach. All right, let's get off of that one. And unfortunately, there's no cameras out on Block Island, because that's where all the action's taking place right now. Let's get a weather observation here. Oh, that's the same thing, Newport weather. See if there's anything else around here. And let's go. This is Martha's Vineyard. And we have winds at east at 23, gusting to 40. Nothing to see there. And here's a live cam from Fall River. Oh, not available. This is typical when these hurricanes hit. You lose these camera shots. So just to let you know, like Rhode Island, for example, they get impacted by a named storm every 3.24 years. Last time they were impacted was 2012. Well, actually, they were impacted this year by extratropical storm Elsa, which hit with 50-mile-per-hour winds while moving northeast. It became post-tropical on July 9th. And they get impacted about every 3.24 years. And on hurricanes, it's about every 19 years they get a hurricane, at least the core of a hurricane. Whether that, excuse me, whether that's the left side, the right side of the center, whether it's, about every 19, 20 years, they get a hurricane up that way in Rhode Island. So, and some of the ones, some of the big hurricanes that have hit there in the past, of course, Bob, 1991, Hurricane Esther was a major, loop right offshore back in 1961. 1954, Hurricane Carol hit as a major, 115 mile per hour. They had gusts of 130. They had a huge storm surge, 200 homes destroyed in Newport. The storm tide was 15 feet. Nothing like that's going to happen today. And then at 1944, they had a Category 2 come in there. 1938, of course, we all know the story of that one. And 1904, they had a Category 1. 1879, they had a Category 1 come in there. So it's about every 20 years they get a hurricane up that way. Most likely time to be hit, height of the hurricane season. So Fred's got his cam going in. Is this live? Let me see. Yeah, it is. Let me see if I'm capturing this correctly. Yeah. Of course, we got to watch a commercial every 5 minutes. Ugh, can't stand it. And his audio is not on his cam, so I don't have any audio with this. All right. So this is Fred's cam, and he's in he's over towards western Long Island, like central western Long Island on the near the South Shore. And he has a camera aiming out of his front yard at the tree there, obviously. And I mean, the tree's hardly moving. I mean, this is a non-event. The winds are offshore, probably out of the north in his area, and there's obvious, rain happening, but not a lot of movement in that tree there. Um, you know, Fred even said, he was going to try to go out and stream on Long Island, but he was having issues with trying to do it. So I guess he's just staying put with his camera at the house. And he runs Hurricane Blizzards Northeasters.com. So that's Fred's thing. So let's take a look at the recon real quick. And see what's happening with the latest recon vortex messages as this moves on shore. Yeah, they're flying. Wait a minute. Why would they be flying out? I mean, I guess it's close. I mean, maybe they can get there before it makes it on shore. No, yeah, let me get the last mission, get some current vortex messages on what happened up there. Come on. There it is. Okay. So here's the center fixes from the Hurricane Hunter, 989, 987, and now it's 980. Is that 986? I think it is. Let's click on that. So we have a pressure 986 millibars, 2912. That's very unusual for a tropical storm to have a pressure that low. But again, in the North Atlantic is a little bit of a different dynamic there. We have the center fix is 95 miles to the south of Providence, Rhode Island. That was as of 11:40, 11:10, 9:08. So that's 6:04. That was, yeah, that was like 3 hours or so ago. So it's moved quite a bit since then. But at that time, we had the circular 20 nautical mile wide eye. We have the SFMR winds are uh, 48 miles per hour, and that was southeast of the center. Um, Outbound winds were 55, and that's on the west side because that's where the most convection is right now on the west side of the system. 55-mile-per-hour winds, and that was southwest of the center. Inner outer eye wall temperature is about 5 degrees. That's what it was last night. So it's kind of maintaining its pressure. So they'll probably maintain the 70 at 11. We'll have to see. All right, so let's take a look at, well, actually, so while I have this up, the real bright, like pinks and purple colors over here, you can click on these barbs and it'll give you the surface winds, 30 miles an hour. That's not very much. I mean, that's to the right side of the circulation. But then when you get over here on the western side where the real heavy convection is, it picks up a little bit, 46 miles per hour. See if there's anything higher. Let me zoom in on it some more. Because I like to click on these wind barbs because it kind of tells you if you're a little bit off to the right or the left, what kind of winds you can expect. Let's click on this one. 46 mile per hour winds. Let's check up here. 44 mile per hour. Down here. .46 miles per hour. That's generally right around 50 on the west side of this thing. I don't know. I don't know how they're maintaining 70, but we'll see. But anyway, let's look at some ships and buoy data out here. See what's happening. And let's zoom right in on this. Right where our storm is right now. So here's just south of Long Island. We have winds northwest at 31, gusting to 40. Pressure 2954. Water temperature 72.1. Again, that's critical because that is just not enough to sustain, hurricane or deep convection. Let's go south of where the center is right now. We have winds out of south at 35 knots and water temperature 77. And let's go just north of the center. This should have the highest winds right now. And of course, it doesn't show the winds. Nope. Wave heights 17 feet, almost 18-foot wave heights. Water temperature 70 degrees. Let's check out east tip of Long Island. It's pressure 2954 and falling rapidly. Water temperature 71. Unfortunately, we don't have any wind data there. Here's just south of Newport. East winds at 43, gusting to 46. That's pretty intense. Pressure 2960 and falling. Let's go over here off the offshore Connecticut now. No data. Let's go over here where Fred is. We have winds northwest at 15, gusting to 20. Yeah, that's like I said, that tree kind of spoke volumes there. Now let's look at Long Island Sound. Oh, no data there. Shoot. Let's try this one. The NOAA station, 18 gusting to 22. This is from a ship, 19 knots. This is up near Newport. Let me zoom in some more here. Nothing on that one. No winds on that one. Out here at Martha's Vineyard, 14 gusting to 30. Snooze fest, folks. Here, this is pretty decent wind. 32 knots, gusting to 36 knots. That's right where those cameras are located, too, by the way. Where that ship I just showed you a minute ago, that sailing vessel, that's about what that's about 40-mile-per-hour winds, gusting to 50. And that can sting you, by the way. You're trying to walk around in that, it'll beat your face up pretty bad. So there's nothing to scoff at 50-mile-per-hour winds. That's some ferocious winds. Think about the thunderstorms that hit you when you get severe thunderstorm warnings at your location, wherever you live in the United States. And those winds that are hitting your house during those thunderstorms, that's for like a very short period of time. This is going to be a prolonged event of these type of winds. So, um, you know, it'll take its toll on things at a certain point. Yeah, it's 22 knots up in there. So up near Providence, it drops quite a bit. Fall River, yeah. And up near Providence, 15 gusting to 26. Wow. All right. Again, there's Mark's cameras. Let's put the sound off and see if he has any. No, he's got music on it. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing to see here. It's all right. So let's get. Oh, wait a minute. Let's take a look at our satellite real quick here. And again, you can zoom in on this right on top of the storm. I'm going to show you a visible and infrared. And again, there's the core of our hurricane, which is now tropical storm. So there it goes, moving on in. A little burst of convection right near Block Island. But the core of it is passing east of Long Island. And it's going to head right into Rhode Island here over the next few hours. So this is what you can do with these maps. Kind of neat. You can choose visible from your list. And it will change. And there we are. There's our hurricane. I keep trying to say hurricane. This is the hurricane warning show, but it's a tropical storm. Henri moving on shore here this morning. And it is currently 9:54 a.m. Eastern time. And again, moving towards western Rhode Island as a 70-mile per system. And we'll be waiting on that. Either way, I'm going to check some NHC data here in a minute. So, and you can also get the radar and observations on these maps. So, and there's our current radar shot. All right, let's switch sources. Let me go back over to the other computer and show you the NHC products. So let me stop sharing on this one. And Okay. By the way, any comments? Nope. There's I don't see anybody commenting this morning. I know we're live on a bunch of different platforms this morning. Why does it keep saying offline on all these things? I don't get it. No, it says online. All right. So let me switch sources here. Okay, so here is the this was later. Here's an update. Let's get this. This is as of 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tropical storm conditions continue spreading inland across portions of southern New England and eastern Long Island. A weather flow station on Block Island, Rhode Island, recently reported a sustained wind of 50 miles per hour with gusts to 63. That's typical with that radar shot of that heavy banding right over Block Island. Another weather flow station near Point Judith, Rhode Island, recently measured a sustained wind of 43, gusting to 51, while a station at Great Gull Island near eastern end of Long Island, New York, measured a sustained wind of 41, gusting to 56. The NOAA Seaman Station at Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts, recently measured a sustained wind of 49, gusting to 52. So I imagine there's a lot of buzzards out there as well. Birds love this kind of weather. They just eat it up. They can just sit there with their wings open and they can just, they have to put zero effort into, I mean, maybe they got to fight the wind a little bit, but if they find the right sweet spot, they can just sit there like a drone. Um, it's 30 miles east southeast of Montauk Point, New York. That is the current location of Tropical Storm Henri, or 60 miles south of Providence, Rhode Island. Maximum sustained winds are now down to 65 miles per hour, moving north-northwest at 14. Pressure 987. Again, that's pretty low pressure for a tropical storm. So, let's see, graphics. So here's the key messages from the National Hurricane Center. Dangerous storm surge inundation is expected to begin this morning in portions of Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and southeastern Massachusetts, where a storm surge warning has been issued. Residents in these areas should follow any advice given by local officials. Hurricane conditions are expected to begin this morning on portions of This was as of 5 a.m., by the way, so it's now downgraded. Again, this will be updated here in about the next hour or so. So I'm not going to talk too much on that. And again, peak surge here from the National Hurricane Center, 3 to 5 feet. Over in the Buzzards Bay area and Rhode Island, including Newport and all these areas, right eastern Long Island. I don't know if that's going to verify because the winds are offshore right now over there. And all right, let's stop sharing and let me get the radar back. And is this current? Yes, it is. All right, here is our radar. Why is it not looping? Hello. Oh boy. Or maybe it, no? Huh. It is looping there. Okay. I have no idea why this is not looping. Huh. Well, I guess we're just not going to get at the loop here. It's probably too many processes going on in this. Ah, there it goes. Slowly but surely, it's loading. But look at all the banding. Again, all of the convection is over that little island called Block Island right here. And it's between Block Island and Long Island. All that, if you're in those red bands and oranges up there, you're getting winds probably gusting upwards of 60, 70 miles per hour. And that's moving into western Rhode Island right now, and it maybe even into eastern Connecticut. We'll have to see what the weather observations show as this moves on in the next couple of hours. All right, let's look at power outage situation. This was as of 9/16. Let's refresh this. Okay, so now we have a little more oranges showing up on here. Now we're right around 20% outages, perhaps 8,469 without power in Rhode Island. Let's check some of the other areas. Let's check New York. 1,513 outages, not bad. Down here in Suffolk, 980 are without power. 890 customers without power on Eastern Long Island. That's out of 646,000 households, or I would assume 890 are out. That's a very small percentage. Let's take a look at Connecticut. A little bit, maybe the middle here, 315 without power. Connecticut, 30,114 for the total state. And let's take a look at Massachusetts, 3,380 without power. And again, as you would expect, Bristol area is 1,769 without power. Again, less than 10%. So far, so good on the power outage front. All right, so let me let me see. Let me go ahead and show you some more of these cameras. Share audio just in case we run into anything here. Okay, let me refresh this. All right, let's go to some of these cameras because this is where the most action is taking place right now. And there's no way to enlarge this one. Again, this is an outgoing tide, so you're not going to get a lot of, onshore flow with an outgoing tide. It's pretty much the way it was when we first started the broadcast. A little bit of water coming up against the seawall here, but nothing dramatic. Definite higher tide than you would normally be. You definitely couldn't go to the beach. It's probably offshore winds out of the north that you're looking at right there. Let's look at the sailboat again and see what's happening with that. It's still bouncing around pretty good. Tide doesn't look like it's gone up any. It's pretty much consistent. 10:06. That's current. Yep. Okay. Let's get rid of that one. Let's go to East Point Snack Bar again. Again, nothing's really changed on these cameras. It's pretty much offshore winds. You notice the little sign over here in the lower right-hand corner. It's kind of blowing over the fence. You can kind of get an idea of the way the wind is blowing right now. Again, I think this one's down. Fall River. Let's see. Yeah, that was the one that was down. Let's take a look over here. Buzzards Bay, where all the buzzards are. I just like saying the word buzzard. I don't know. It's a funny name to me. The birds are even funny looking. Like, all right. Why am I not hearing any sound on any of these? Maybe they just don't have sound. Again, offshore winds. I mean, you would think if you look at this shot right here, you'd think this is just a normal day at the beach. But again, these are offshore winds. The winds are out of the north, so the wind is blowing away from the beach. So it's just it's not an onshore flow. So it is what it is. Buzzards Bay, and where are all the buzzards? I don't see any buzzards. So why is it called Buzzard Bay? Even the chairs aren't even moving here. I mean, although there could be a building behind those chairs, so it's kind of blocking the wind. You would think, I mean, wouldn't they take those inside? I mean, it, maybe I'm a fool and thinking, just leave them out there. Maybe they're screwed down. I don't know. But I mean, those chairs should be inside there. Although they're not going to hurt anybody. I'm just going to blow around on the beach. I don't know. Again, let's check observations here. Newport weather, 46. Gusting to 40, yeah, 46 miles an hour. That's pretty good at Newport right now. And again, here's Mark's cameras on Eastern Long Island. See if he's got any sound. No, he's got music going. You can see some decent wave action there on the upper right-hand corner, Montauk. You know, I know they've got to be thinking, wow, this was kind of a waste of time for a chase, but uh, Mark covers it. He goes there and sets up cameras and does reports and whatnot for his Patreon crowd. But this is a lot of nothing here going on here. All right, so let's do this. Let me switch sources again and go to the Weather Flow Network. Again, here's Fred's camera. Just he's on Central Long Island, Central toward Western Long. Again, nothing going on. The tree's barely moving. And he's got a gust of high of 11. Wow. outside. Let's see, high wind gust was 26, but that was days ago. His highest wind gust, yeah, about 15 miles per hour. No, that was a couple days ago. His highest gust today is like 12. Yeah, this is an interesting stat. Last hurricane to affect Long Island has been 8 years, 9 months, 23 days, 14 hours, and 12 minutes, and 1 second. Oh, I love it. Uh, since the last tropical storm has been 1 month, 13 days, 9 hours. Since the last major has been 66 years, 11 months, 22 days, 4 hours, 50, and 18 seconds. Those seconds count, you know. Oh, all right. Let's see if that other recon got in there. We were at 987 on the last fix, but I'm sure it's probably lower at this point. What are they doing? Why is it taking them so long to get there? Unless this is, I guess they're close. The hurricane hunters are close. They're moving in. This is the Air Force, by the way. Yep. Hercules WC-130 aircraft is heading into Tropical Storm Henri. I keep wanting to say hurricane. All right, let's get to the other source and pull up the weather flow network. So, and then at 11, we'll have the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Yeah, I think the core of this is going to come in west of Newport. Okay, we've got a plethora of instruments to check out here, so I'm going to pull them up here in a second. All right, so let me screen capture this. All right, let's go eastern Long Island. We have pressure 29.47 inches. That is 998 millibars on eastern Long Island right now, 998. Let's check this one out. Winds 25 miles per hour out of the northeast. Block Island is where the action is, so let's look at these. Heavy rain, wind speed 11, gusting to 26. That just doesn't sound right. It should have been much higher than that. 29.26 inches. That's right around 991 millibars. Wind gusting to 11. It just doesn't sound right to me. Something's got to be wrong with these instruments. No observations there. That was at 10:15. Yeah, that's current. This is up in northern Block Island. We have pressure 29.29 inches. That would be 992 millibars. Very heavy rain, 2.7 inches of rain. We have winds gusting to 30. Something's wrong with these instruments. They should be measuring higher than this. No, it's a shame, but All right, so let's head up here towards where the core is now, or at least it's moving in on some of these areas. And this is also current pressure 29.44. This is up at Weekapog, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering it. It is pressures 29.44. That would be 997 millibars. Winds 25, gusting to 40. That's pretty decent wind. Let's check out this one. Winds 8.5, gusting to 15. We have winds 23. Okay, let's get over further east. And we have winds out of the west-southwest. That doesn't even sound, that's not right. Something's wrong with their instruments. All right, this is from 1017. This is Galilee Point. Winds 25, gusting to 38 miles per hour. Pressure there is 29.43, which is like 997 millibars. No observations there. Narragansett. Let's see, nothing there. These are power outage situations, more than likely. 29, gusting to 41 knots. Here is no. .38 gusting to, no, it's gusting to 38 knots. No observations there, nothing there. 28 gusting to 33 knots. Over on Martha's Vineyard, 28 gusting to 33. And at this point, I'm questioning why I'm covering this. Sorry about this. This is embarrassing. Gust 4.5. That can't be right. I mean, look, I know it's a dead on the east side of the circulation, but it's got to be more than 5 miles an hour. Yep. Here's gusting 18. Wow. All right, let's get back to the radar. Find out what's happening here. So again, the oranges and the reds, which are kind of waning at the moment, just west of Block Island. Kind of the worst banding here is splitting the uprights between Block Island and Long Island, and it's heading up into western Rhode Island. Let's check some messages here. National comment. By the way, you can comment on social media, and it will show up on the live feed. You know, if I allow it, of course. But I'm welcoming all comments on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. Again, that heavy banding is moving into western Rhode Island and eastern Connecticut at this hour. And I just showed you the observations. They're just not showing very much. The pressure's on shore right around like 997, and the winds are right around 30. Some gust of 40. That I've seen out there, but that's about it. It's 10:21 Eastern time. I'm Jim Williams. Let's check some comments. See if anybody has anything to say while that radar is up. So here we go. Let's show the comments. So Josh, windy here in westerly Rhode Island. The center is going to come right over Block Island, and here conditions just went downhill in the last 15 minutes. Okay. Um, Erudite Periscope is up on Twitter. Okay, got it. Thank you for that update. Josh, do you know your barometric pressure there? Jim, when you're clicking on the links for the cams, they are not showing up on the screen. Oh, great. Wonderful. Okay. I thought they were. Huh. I don't know the pressure here, but I'll try to find out shortly. It's whipping pretty good now. Is that? No, that's on YouTube. These are comments from YouTube and Periscope. And again, we're back in the abyss with Facebook. Are people watching on Facebook? Are they seeing it on Facebook? That's the question. It says it's online. Okay. All right. Well, this is our status. We have a tropical storm moving onshore in Rhode Island at this hour. Winds are 65 miles per hour, according to the National Hurricane Center. And we're awaiting the 11 a.m. because that'll have all the new fresh data of what could be expected. But again, as I've been showing you on those cameras, which apparently people aren't seeing, the winds are offshore. They're mainly out of the north, so the winds are blowing away from the coast. What I'm interested in is seeing if there's any surge coming in on Long Island. Let me go back. All right, let me stop this screen share and go back to those cameras because now I'm curious and to see if I'm able to see those. So let's go ahead and screen share. All right. All right. Once again, let's Narragansett Pier. Let's try this one again. Player error. Great. So that camera, no, it's there. Just seeing if the camera's showing up. Somebody said it's not. You know what? He's right. Wait a minute. I don't know if you're seeing a map. Nope, it's not showing up. Let me try something here. Sorry about that. I thought it was screen capturing these cameras. Let's see. Oh no, it's, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. But it, well, now the camera's down again. There it is. Now it should be showing, now it should be showing up. Yeah, there it is. All right. So yeah, I wasn't choosing the cameras separately, and I apologize. Let me. Now I know to do that. I thought it was. When I moused over it, it looked like it was sharing it with the audience, but apparently it wasn't. But again, you can see the waves there. They're kind of course, now the camera stopped. They're having issues. They're probably losing their power there. But look at the waves, man. Look at those. The glassy. Now here's the play button. Maybe it's stopped. Let me try it again here. Come on. No, not working. Let's skip this camera. All right, let's try another one. This is the sailing ship again, so let's choose that one from the menu. Actually, this probably should show up. No, it's not showing up. Hmm. Nope, it's not. Wait a minute. There it goes. Sometimes it just takes a minute. Of course, the cameras are all going down now, right? Got an hourglass, folks. It's not popping up. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Never mind that one. Easton snack bar. Let's see if that one's still up. Camera is missing in action. Great. Buzzards Bay. Of course, it's starting to drift away from there now. Let me see if it is showing up. Hmm. Ah, there it is. All right, so yeah, again, offshore winds. Those are this is east of Newport. So this is on the dry side of the storm, and the winds are out of the north. I mean, out of the south here. They should be. Well, I don't know. It's kind of a hard call on this one because. And look at this person walking out there like there's like nothing going on. It's just it's. But this is kind of far away from where the heaviest convection is, so you can see I'm thrilled here. All right, let me try some more camera angles here. See if this one's back up again. East Hampton. Okay, it is up. Let's see. Again, that's East Hampton. Again, these are northerly offshore winds. Northerly offshore winds, probably in the 40 mile per hour, 50 mile per hour range. Decent wave action there. All right. This is a joke. I mean, I don't mean to make light of this, but I mean it is low tide, and the winds are like. We'll know in 15 minutes if we have a if they lower the winds any further. Here's um, oops, hold on. Let's go. Let's look at Mark's cameras again. And let's see. Okay. Go full screen on this. So here's Mark's camera. He's on Eastern Long Island, right on the tip, Montauk. And you can see the good wave action in the upper right-hand corner. That's probably about as far east on Long Island as you can get. There's some really nice waves smashing up, and this is Fort Pond Bay. The one on the left is Town Beach, Long Island. It's like a little road flooding in the lower right-hand corner. See if we can get the sound on this. He's just got music going, forget it. Let's look down at Hampton Bays. Cooper's Beach. Oh, that's a pretty cool shot. Let's do that one. Let me get that screenshotted. And this is Southampton Village, Cooper's Beach, just is a little bit further west on Long Island. And again, wave action, but again, it's offshore winds. Just You definitely would not want to be swimming out there unless you're a really good swimmer or a surfer. Surprised the surfers aren't out there taking advantage of this. Offshore winds makes for nice glassy swells, no doubt. And people are out walking around. You can tell they're not even really even bracing themselves with the wind. Like they're standing there relaxed. There's doesn't appear to be any kind of real drastic winds. All right, let's stop sharing this. This is turning into a okay. Um, let's look over here a little further. This is Westbrook, Connecticut. Let's check this one out. Again, glassy, calm, north winds. See how fast the clouds are moving here, though. But obviously, this camera is aiming south. And you can see the clouds streaming from north to south here in the top part of the picture. But when you have offshore winds, it's going to be glassy. You're not going to see a lot of wave action. Any wave action should be on the right-hand side of this. That's going to be up in the Newport area if we see a lot of wave action. So let's stop. Let's actually, I was wrong on that. That went no, yeah, that was in Connecticut. That's north winds. Let's go back to our cameras where I think the bulk of this is going down. That's Narragansett. Let's try this one again. This one I can't go full screen on. And it's down. Nothing. All right, skip that one. Let's go back to our sailing boat again. See if that one's working. And there it is. Yeah, this camera keeps locking up. They're having problems. But that tide has not come up. It is kind of been the same the entire broadcast here. It's been about a foot or two below the docks. Winds east northeast at 29. Wow. Yeah, I'm getting it's this hourglass city here because all the what's going to happen now, the power outages are going to start increasing. Cams are all going to start going down. All right, forget it. Let's go to another one. See if any weather update on the gusting to 40 knots in Newport. Let's try the snack bar cam again. Camera missing in action. Okay. So now we're down to one camera with an hourglass, two cameras down in Newport. Let's see what these observations are showing. 11 knots. Nope. Martha's Vineyard one more time, gusting to 40 miles per hour now. Unfortunately, we don't have any cams on northern Long Island. Let's check out what's happening over here in Barnstable. That's on Cape Cod. It's probably nothing going on there. Yeah, calm. I mean, look at Cape Cod. Let me show you this one. So, yeah, I mean, look at that. Calm conditions. This is on Cape Cod. By the way, I don't think this is going to even end up being a brush for Cape Cod. It was my number 10 this year. Look at how calm the ocean. I mean, the ocean's this is a non-story here. All right, let me go to the other source. Let's pull up the radar again. The current radar position of Tropical Storm Henri. And again, we're waiting on the 11. It should be out any minute now. It's a pretty pathetic looking radar. I mean, there's really nothing on the east side of this at all. It's a lopsided system that opened up right before it made landfall. Oh, gosh. I can't get that to animate either. By the way, that warning on the blue there is for area flood advisory for, let's see, for Suffolk. 1 inch of rain has fallen across the area. 1 to 2 inches are possible. Again, the only people that are going to get high winds are right there in that orange and red area there. That's it. Everything I've been seeing in surrounding areas is maybe gusting to 40. So if you're not under that orange yellow area, it's not happening. You're standing out there with really light winds. Um, So this is going to be Eastern Connecticut, Western Rhode Island is going to probably get the worst of this. In fact, it's probably going to end up being Eastern Connecticut at this point, looking at this radar. So we're going to focus on those observations. So let's go ahead and do that now, and then we'll get to the National Hurricane Center, 11 a.m. So let's get to station map. Okay. All right. No observations. River Road, 29.42 inches. That's as of 10:46. 29.42. That's 997. No observations there. Nothing there. Here's a gust of 33 miles per hour. Wind direction east northeast. Yeah, that sounds about right. 4.9. 25 mile per hour winds out of the north northeast at West Beach Road. 13 knots. 41. There's a gust of 41 in Noank. And that's winds out of the northeast at 40 miles. It's really light. I mean, I don't really have an explanation for it. I mean, would assume in these areas there's got to be some high winds. That's um, it's the banding is moving right in on these areas where I just had the weather instruments up, and it's just not really showing very much. All right, let's get to some social media posts here real quick. All right, let's screen capture this. Here's Bobby, a good map from us. Yeah, Again, here's Mark's camera. Not sure if you're able to see that. All right. So this person says we're getting reports and photos from across the state. Some damage. And a little bit of beach overwash there. Trees down. Yeah, Shea Gibson's, showing this. Yeah, it shows a gust of 69, but on land we're not really finding very much. I don't know. Here's a good satellite image from Bobby. She posted. Oh, of course you can't. Yeah. Notice how the whole south side just opens up into nothingness, and this is why we're not really seeing that much wind reports on land. Yeah. Oh, here's a good. Let's check this out. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yep, parking lots underwater, water coming in. That's that up to 1 foot they were showing on the surge maps. Yeah, pretty neat. That's Watch Hill near Yacht Club and Stores, and that's in Rhode Island. There's a piece of a vent or something getting blown off. Yeah, a little bit of that siding coming off. Not unusual when you get a 50, 60 mile an hour gust. That can happen. Here's video from Fire Island. Again, nothing to see. And it looks pretty tumultuous there. Wow, that's some nasty looking surf. And is that a buzzard? No, that's a seagull. Pretty cool. That's from Montauk Point, Eastern Long Island. All right, let's go to the National Hurricane Center and get the latest. And 11 a.m. advisory is in, and we have winds are now 60 miles per hour, and I think that's being generous. 15 miles east of Montauk Point, New York, 50 miles south-southwest of Providence. So it is making that little bend to the left. The models yesterday, when I was doing the show last night, were talking about um, some of the models wanted to bend it to the left as it came in, and that looks like that may be playing out here, but weakening rapidly in the process. In fact, the Canadian was pretty good at showing that, the Canadian model. So 60 pressure 987. Again, it's really low pressure for a tropical storm. It's moving north-northwest at 12, so it's slowing down. It was moving around 16. Storm surge watch is discontinued from East Rockaway Inlet to west of Mastic Beach, New York. and from north of Chatham to Sagamore Beach, Massachusetts, including Cape Cod Bay. Obviously, it was so flat in those videos I was showing you. It's crazy. Storm surge warning is still in effect from the south shore of Long Island, from Mastic Beach to Montauk Point, New York. I don't know why. North shore of Long Island from Montauk Point to Flushing. That makes sense because that north wind might push water up in there. Flushing, New York to Chatham, Massachusetts, and from Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard to Block Island. Yeah, I guess that's reasonable. All right, so let's get to the graphics. And again, the key messages here are, no, that's 5 a.m. still. Okay. Rainfall potential, this is as of the 8 a.m. No, wait a minute. No, this is from 5 a.m. too. Yeah, so here's your potential flood maps. Do I dare do it? Let's open up the HER track. All right, while that's opening up, so the 11 a.m. is out. We have a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm, which I would never cover anywhere else. But because it's the Northeast and everybody's just like, ah, you know, I'm covering this one, but I don't think I'm going to archive it. I just don't see anything here that's worth archiving. I mean, there might be, I'm not saying nothing's going to happen here. I mean, there might be some areas that flood. There's going to be trees down, some power outages. I'll get to the power outage map in a minute. See if anything's changed out there. But wow, I mean, it's, so let's see if we can pull any of these other cams up. Again, this is the East Hampton Cam in yeah, so this is East Hampton Beach, Eastern Long Island. Again, just nothing to see. It's let's try our cameras up here. Let's go to Connecticut again. Wait a minute. This is where it should be bad, though. This is what I don't really understand. This is Westbrook, Connecticut. It should be blowing pretty good here. Yeah, the trees are moving pretty good. And again, these are northerly winds coming in through here, so that's cameras facing south. All right, so let me show you the HER track here. And Switch sources. The 11 a.m. And so what do I have, a black screen? Yes. Ooh. There's our current position of Tropical Storm Henri. Let me get rid of that graphic so you can see, and then I'll get to some more of your comments here in a minute. So you can see the center is right on shore of Connecticut, southeastern Connecticut, and I've been showing you the weather observations, just putrid. I mean, 40 mile an hour. This is, and I've always said this before and I don't mean to minimize what the winds are going to be in these systems, but when they put out an advisory that says 70 miles per hour, the only people that are going to get that kind of wind are right on where the reds and the oranges are on the radar. And the majority of the people are going to get winds that are going to be 20 miles an hour, less than that. So it's really hard. It's like finding a needle in a haystack to get those kind of winds when they come in, unless it's a well-established core where the winds are evenly distributed. In this one, that's not the case. So it's just going to be hit and mix. But uh, so here we are going into 2 p.m. this afternoon. It's well on shore, and then it weakens down to 40, 45 miles per hour. But again, that's our current position right there, ready to move on shore, and that's the extent of the wind field. So in the database, it'll be considered as a tropical storm hit for Southampton. It'll be for Providence, of course. I think the Cape Cod thing's a little bit of a stretch. I'm going to be hesitant on that one. I just don't. I'm not seeing anything out on Cape Cod to indicate that we have a tropical storm condition out there. Um, so here's the wind swaths, the rest of the trip here, and that's really the 50 mile per hour gusting to 61 in the dark blue areas, and lighter up in here. We're talking 47 gusting to 57 miles per hour in eastern Connecticut. Again, the rainfall is what matters right now, and that's you know about 6 to 8 inches of rain, but it might even be less because it's such a small wind field of really intense banding right now that I need, Okay, let's look at one more thing while we have this open, and the impact report for the Northeast. Again, if you're living in Providence, it is currently the tide is going out. As you can see on that blue line, it starts out medium tide, and then as you go into 2 o'clock this afternoon, it's low tide, and then as you get into the evening hours, it goes back up to high tide. But by the time the tide starts to go up, the winds are coming down, and you can see that the max winds here are going to be 45 to 55 miles per hour around noontime. Same thing at 12:30, all the way through like 2 p.m. Then the winds start to calm down a little bit, 45 gusting to 54, and on and on and on. And then when we're at 6:30 tonight, we're going to have winds gusting to 40 miles per hour ish in the Providence area. Southampton, on the other hand, on Long Island, we've got the tide is going out right now. It'll be low tide in the middle of the day. The winds will begin to calm down, 45, 55 miles per hour. And then as we get in towards 3:30 p.m., it'll be 40 mile per hour winds gusting to 50. So basically a low impact event here. All right, so I'm going to get out of the herd track. Let's pull that radar up one more time. Let's do the power outages real quick. All right, so yeah, we're about the same. I mean, 4,600 without power in Massachusetts, minor situation. Uh, Long Island, again, nothing. 1,200 people without power out here. Let's go to Connecticut. That might be where the worst of it is. Actually, Rhode Island has got the most. 14,000 without power. Over here, about 6,000 without power. Total of 24,962 in Rhode Island without power. Let's check Connecticut real quick. 6,821 without power, the most in southeast part of the state, which is New London. 2,856 without power out of about 100,000, so a very small percentage without power. Let's get that radar up one more time. And again, I mean, just a very small area moving into. And by the way, there's a flood warning in here. Let's check this out. Flash flood warning for southern New London County and southern Connecticut. Radar indicated heavy rain between 1 to 3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall of 1 to 2 inches is possible. Flash flooding is expected to begin shortly. Flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage in low-lying areas. Some locations will experience flash flooding, including New London, Groton, Old Sayford, Salem, Mystic, Waterford, East Lyme, Ledyard, Griswold, East Haddam, Old Lyme, Preston, Voluntown, Lyme, Gales Ferry, Ledyard Center, North Lyme, Montville, Essex, and North Stonington. Turn around, don't drown. Radar indicated heavy flooding right there in that yellow highlighted area for eastern Connecticut. 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm Henri moving onshore. All right, let me get to some of the comments. People, sure we have some more comments that have showed up. Mike's want to know what will flights continue to depart out of JFK based on this forecast? I would say yes. I don't think it's a hazard at this point. I really don't. Looks like New York City will be less impacted. That's for certain. Rose said on Rofo sent a comment on Facebook. There are 3 or 4 other comments there. The video is working fine, but I'm not seeing them. Well, because she's on Periscope, though. Jim, Fred here. Just heavy rain, no wind. You can get my cam on Earth Cam. Won't have ads. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking at your cam earlier, Fred. It's just not moving very much. I mean, there's just nothing going on, dude. It's like it's a non-story. I'm thinking at this point. I mean, we just got to watch for rainfall totals. I don't even think the surge is going to be that big of a deal. Uh, this is the problem with alarmism, and this is why I try to tone it down. Let's see what this one is. I did find an app to broadcast on the phone, but as of now, I won't be going out. Nothing exciting happening, pretty much. Can somebody please post on Facebook so that I know it's coming over here? Anyone? Just post something on Facebook real quick. Actually, let me do it myself because I want to know. Let's see. can't do that. Let me stop sharing over here. Hello, come on. All right, Jim Williams, 11:15. Probably going to wrap it up here shortly because this is just turning into a non-story for the most part. First of all, okay, I don't know if these comments show up. Let me try it here. Test. And of course, you can always wait a minute. Maybe it's because comment. Pin post, edit, live video, edit audience. Edit post. Nope. Pin post. Yeah, so all right, I just posted test. Let me see if that, yeah, my stuff showed up. There's a Facebook post. See, there's my post, Jim Williams test. Okay. All right. All right, so the comments are working on all the platforms. The stream is working on all the platforms. The only problem is we don't have a hurricane broadcast. This is turning into a you know what show. Oh, man. So, you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up here, folks. This is just turning into a it's not, hurricane worthy show that we normally do on these the hurricane warning shows. So um, I'm going to wrap it up here. As far as the future, again, I discussed this last night about doing my predictions and everything on social media. I'm probably going to just share things from other people. I don't really have much to say. I mean, I just don't want to get into the forecasting aspects of it anymore, and I'm just gonna share NHC stuff. And then when something's live, I'll go get it and cover these shows. Do the shows like this. But as far as the predictions and the seasonal predictions and all, they got to reevaluate the whole thing. But anyway, I appreciate people that were watching here today, and I'm sorry it wasn't the drama that we thought was going to happen here this morning. I mean, it just didn't materialize. So, anyways, and that it's not to say this is over. By the way, I'm not saying all right, storm over. I mean, there's still going to be heavy rain. There's still going to be flooding. There's going to be trees down, some power outages and whatnot, but not a big hurricane event by any stretch. So. This will probably not be archived either. There's nothing worth archiving on it. So with that said, we'll catch you on the next one. Just a real brief mention that the models are predicting, I think late next week, a system in the Caribbean moving into the Gulf towards Texas, Mexico situation. And then on September 1st, something develops down in the Central Caribbean and heads north towards Florida. So we'll see how that pans out. So that's it for now, Jim Williams. We'll catch you on the next storm hurricane warning show. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching.